Okay, today seems like a really good day to show you guys one of my favorite recipes. I think I said that about another one, but this one is one of my favorites because I perfected this recipe a long time ago, probably when I was in my teens. And today I'm going to do the peanut butter version, and another time I'll do the chocolate version, but I am making fudge. And it's not necessarily wise to make fudge on a day like today. It's really humid. But if you do it right, you'll be just fine. I have here, and this is my stock pot, but I like it because it's deep. The fudge bubbles, the base bubbles, and it gets all huge bubbles, and it can pop out and hurt you, just like when I was making those little zucchini puppies the other day, and I was in a hurry, and the very last one, I dropped in a little too hard, and oil popped out of the fryer, caught me on the lip. And I had it right up on the top of my lip. I had a bubble come up on my lip, and then it popped, you know, like blisters do. And then I looked like I had a fever blister when actually it's a grease blister. How about that?
TMI.
So, hey, I'm the one. Your dumb brothers just got home and set the dogs off. Okay, so 3 cups of sugar. Oh my God, that's a lot of sugar. Well, it's fudge. Okay, 1.5 cups of milk. And I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt to this, and then I'm going to put it on the stove, and I'm going to set it cooking on about medium high until it reaches 235 to 240 degrees, which is the softball stage. I always go by the stage, and I don't use a thermometer. So I'll be back in a little while to show y'all what that looks like. Is when I know that I need to start checking my beginnings of my fudge. I'm looking at it. It's not got the big bubbles like I expect yet, so that tells me, Abby, stop. That tells me that it's not quite where it needs to be. She's measuring out my peanut butter for me, y'all. She's so sweet. Tells me where it's not quite where it needs to be yet. And then when I do this, I'm looking at how it runs down the side of my pan and out of my spoon. It's running too fast. It's not ready yet. But I will be back to show you when it is ready. Steady stir on this, because if you walk away from it and don't pay attention, you have burned your fudge, I'm telling you. It doesn't take long for that to happen. It also doesn't take long for it to get to the softball stage that you need. You don't have to constantly stir it back and forth and back and forth, or around and around. You can just kind of scrape the bottom of your pan. Just keep it from sticking. You don't want it to stick at all. All right, this has bubbled down. You can see it's not as tall as it was because it was bubbling up this far, and it's not bubbling up that far now. I'm gonna take and run it down, and you see how it's just running down the side much more slowly. Here's your little lesson when I'm doing that. I can tell by the way it smells and how the bubbles look that it's ready. But watch what happens when I put that little bit in that water. Stick my hand in there. Look at how that comes together like that. You want it to make just a very soft ball. The ball fell apart when I took my fingers away. But it makes a really soft ball in the water. There's my soft ball. And that tells me that this is ready for me to add the rest of my ingredients. Okay, to my warm sugar milk mixture, I'm adding 1/2 stick of butter. And I will say this every chance I get. Real butter. Real butter. I'm gonna
I can't believe it's not butter.
No, it's real butter. Abby, look into the bowl, the pan right here. I want you to see what happens when I add the vanilla. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. It normally bubbles up around the vanilla. There we go. Stop. Are you recording? Okay, so I'm stirring it until the butter is just about melted, because when I add that peanut butter to it, it's gonna, for lack of a better word, seize up really quickly, and that just means that it's gonna start making the shape of fudge that I want. I have a silicone pan here. I like the silicone pan because, I dropped that. because I don't have to add butter to it. I usually, when I'm using like a 8x8, 9x9 pan, I have to butter it. Silicone pan I don't have to butter, and that makes it nice. Plus this one's a little bit bigger than the pan I normally use for brownies, and so that means that it looks like there's more fudge when there's not necessarily more fudge, which makes everybody happy, but it's just a little trick of the eye for me. So I've added my peanut butter, and I'm stirring this up really fast because it will start to set very quickly once I get it stirred up. This pan is still hot, y'all. So when it comes time for me to pour it into my silicone pan, it's going to need to be poured very quickly. Look at that, it's already getting set. So I'm going to finish pouring this out, scrape up the pan, and then when it's ready to cut, I will be back. All right, this fudge is ready. See, this is why I like these silicone pans, because I can just easily turn it over. Got a few little crummies there. Look how soft and nice that is, how that's cutting. I'm gonna cut the corner off here so you guys can see it. Look at that, isn't that creamy? And you know what's even better about it? It tastes good. Try it, you'll like it.